It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, we got another video suggested by one of you guys, so once again shout out to Unworldly Line 47 for suggesting this topic. I think it's an interesting one. Now this one's from r/deadbydaylightrage, titled "Killers Shouldn't Have the Red Stain in Lights Out." Now I can say with the utmost confidence, I did not know that Lights Out still has a red stain for Killers. Because that literally makes no sense. I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, that is diabolical. Like, because if you've ever seen, like, the description for Lights Out, which I don't really think that I need to show you guys that information. The mode has been out for a few days. But you understand that it's supposed to have undetectable for all killers. So how is there a red stain if they said it was undetectable? But then again, keep in mind they said that killers get the Franklin's demise effect when there's no items in the mode. So that makes total sense, sure. Like, I guess. So I mean, are we really shocked by this? By the increasing incompetence? I don't know. I don't think so. So the post says, I'd like to start this post by saying I am a Survivor main. I never player killer unless I get bored of Survivor or I need to do a quest. They say I missed the previous Lights Out, so I'm not really familiar on the old mechanics of the mode, but I really feel like killers shouldn't have a red stain. Which, as I keep saying, I don't believe that. I didn't even know they had it in the mode because that sounds ridiculous. But apparently that is, because God forbid killers get anything else. You know, because the one perk of Franklin's was clearly way too advanced, and you have to give the survivors at least 10 more things on top just to make sure that it really balances itself out. Anyway, they say I was so excited to play a scary game mode and get jump scared a lot, but 80% of the time I can see the killer coming because of the red stain. I usually get a reasonable head start then, and my chases just play out like regular queue, except I can't see shit. Not scary, by the way, just annoying. So as you can see, as I've talked about, even Survivor mains don't even like Lights Out because it's like I keep saying. I've covered that in another video. Its intention was to be spooky. It's scary. That was how it's marketed. Why is it not scary? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Literally, that doesn't make any sense. But let's continue. So they say it's just not as scary as I hoped for, and I really feel like this should be a change they consider making, considering all the buffs Survivors got, but I also feel like it'd be unfair on newer players, so IDK. They say I just wish the mode was scarier, because if I want to loop and escape, I just play regular queue. Even if this change made the killer mode killer-sided, I wouldn't care at all. I'm honestly sick of the Survivor-sided events and getting so much shit handed to me. I want a challenging and fun games, please. So I've been saying this for quite a while, right? You guys already know. I've talked about this so many times because I've seen it so many times. A lot of Survivor players that are experienced or veterans and stuff like that are like, yo, this game is so freaking boring because everything is just being handed to me. Like, there's no challenge, there's no threat, there's no stakes. You know, I think one of the interesting aspects of a multiplayer game is the idea that there's like a story going on, right? There's a push and a pull. There's a tug of war in that sense. There's a story happening. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you can start out neutral. Then next thing you know, like, this will happen. This event will then lead for something else. And then because of that, then everything else falls apart. But then this other person does this play, and then it brings it back to their side. And then this other thing happens, and then can they counter it? Blah, blah, blah. Like, those things all come into play. And I look at that even like in like Rivals. I look at that even like in the DVD way, if you want to do it that way too. Like, all those things like contribute to that sort of story that's created, that sort of experience. And a lot of Survivor players are looking for that story, that experience, those stakes of like, what is going to happen? Can we make it out of this? The risk is what makes it interesting. The risk of death is what makes a game interesting. That's why people enjoy something as simplistic as Super Mario back in the freaking day. Because if you miss your jump, you fall in a hole or something and die. You lose a life. That's the stakes. You die if you mess up. But when you remove that, then it just becomes you're running in a straight line from left to right. That's literally it, if you want to use that as a reference, right? That's what people are talking about. That's what people are trying to say. But because they're making it super easy, it's boring. So this person says, when I play as Survivor, I always immediately drop my lantern because number one, it's actually way too bright. It's annoying. Number two, the killer can see you from a longer distance. And number three, it is just not as exciting. Been saying that. I've been saying that. How many times have I said that? Right? How many times have I broke that down for you guys and explained it? Like, that is, like, why are they spawning with lanterns? It's called lights out, not lights in your hand. Like, it's not lights in, like, what? It's not like bright light mode. It's literally called lights out, as in it's leaving, as in there's no light, like, as in it's dark. Like, it makes no freaking sense. Like, I don't understand. What is the logic? Let's go ahead and continue. So, let's see. So they say, as a killer main, the red stain doesn't bother me. The whole lantern that show palette does. I hate those lantern. Even when playing Survivor, I drop it on a gen and never touch any lantern again because it ruined my vibe and fun. See, another person saying the same thing. We need a mega thread for obvious things that are wrong with this stupid modifier. Yep. And then they say, yeah, I didn't realize that they did have that until I played Survivor yesterday. It's a wild how many buffs they give Survivor now. It feels less dark this time. Gens get a 20% bonus to repair speed. You get windows, you get a whole minute of endurance, and you even get to see the aura of the exit gates too. They really killed the scariness of this mode. Plus, many weak killers still struggle because of the high palette density, so I can't even do well with them. Another person saying what I've said before. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, people can try to, you know, feed you the Kool-Aid and try to make you drink it and make you believe that somehow that, like, it's not the game's fault, that it's you, it's a skill issue, or they try to gaslight you and say it's your fault and you need to get better, when it's like, yeah, but these mechanics are taking away the skill expression of Survivor, which then means that there's no skill expression on Killer because everything's being removed from that. You dumb down Survivor, then you make Killer even harder to keep up with that. That makes no sense, but that's what they do. And it's crazy to me because it's like they keep saying that every killer is crying, but yet what's up with all these buffs? How do you explain Survivor players saying this shit is boring? How do you explain, like, the number of buffs is crazy? The anniversary event is a perfect example of that. Like, I don't understand, like, what else could be done there. I don't understand, you know, what the hell these people are on, bro. I really don't. I have no idea what they're on. Because it's mind-boggling that people can somehow still disagree when you have so much stack and evidence. They say, considering that there's no proximity heartbeat and killer footsteps seem to be much quieter, removing the red stain will be a bit much in my opinion. You don't know what you're talking about. They did not make killer footsteps quieter at all. And the reason there's no proxy heartbeat, clown, is because they removed the terror radius from the killer. Okay? Not that hard to understand. All right? It's supposed to be lights out. So isn't a red stain a red freaking light beaming out of bro's face? That should be considered lights out. It should be considered removing that. It's like these people, man, they're like, I don't know why they don't think. Like, hello? They're removing your HUD. They're removing the aura, right? Why are we not leaning into that? It's supposed to be pitch black darkness and scary. Nah, I need to keep having more hand holding. It's not a bit much. Like, that's not enough, honestly. Remove the red stain. Why do we have that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's literally called lights out. You should not see him coming from a mile away. Like, that doesn't make any sense. What? Like, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. The devs could remove windows of opportunity mechanisms on the lantern to make this mode harder for survivors, but I got jump scared enough as it was last night when I played. I mean, then you just have no awareness, because if you're not seeing a red stain that beams like 3 to 10 freaking feet in front of him in the darkness, that's just you. You can't, if you're not able to see that, that's you. So they say, even though Survivor's lantern light literally goes through walls, LOL, okay then. What are you talking about, little bro? You don't play killer. You don't play killer, bro. And I'm guessing bro doesn't understand how lights work, but you know, that's a whole nother conversation. I'm not surprised. There's always, bro, I keep saying this and I always forget. We need to be doing some bingo or something in these videos, because holy shit. Yeah, like we need a spot for Survivor main, like dumbass comment. We need a free spot for or just whatever. I don't know what it'll say. Another spot for based, you know, something. We need, like, I just gotta do it because this is ridiculous already. So this says, why I stopped playing during the anniversary event. The devs always cater to the larger population of Survivor players. They're making the game easier for survivors. Consequently, Survivor players don't need to learn how to play better, and that makes Survivor players complain more about killers and killer perks. That leads to nerfs, and then even less competent survivors as they slow spiral into oblivion. I've been saying that forever. So of course they want to say that the game needs to do more to retain players' interest in the game. I mean, it's both sides that are finding it boring. Killer, way too difficult, way too sweaty, way too boring. Like at that point, because a lot of killer players are casuals. They want to just get on, feel the experience of being a monster in a video game, right? Whether it be like somebody like Michael Myers, Freddy, you know what I mean, like Chucky, like, you know, you step into the shoes of those characters and have fun, or be a monster you like, whatever in the game, whatever it may be. But they don't get to do that. So of course a lot of people go, well, I ain't playing that. And then Survivor is too easy. So a majority go, well, this is boring. Like, I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm just sitting around filling bars, which I think you're starting to realize. You just fill bars all day and do nothing. But anyway, this person says, make the Survivor role more fun and interactive and add different win conditions and or objectives. But making it harder to play killer and easier to play Survivor isn't the path to longevity. Thank you. Somebody freaking said it. How many times have I said this? Like, oh my God. Like, perfect angle, right? They say, make the Survivor role more fun and interactive, add different win conditions and or objectives, but making it harder to play killer and easier to play Survivor isn't the path to longevity. Which is twice, apparently. I don't know why it appears twice here, but hey, it was the comment was so good and literally needed to be said twice because it's true. How many times have I made videos where I talk about that exact topic, where I'm like, the way to make it more engaging, take some pages out of the Friday the 13th game, take some pages from other games that do it differently, and apply that to this game, right? Make the little tasks you have to do more interesting, make you explore the map and look for parts. I've said this. It's a simple fucking thing. Like, how is it that Halloween, the game coming out, literally has that concept down pat already? Like, right off release, they're already going, yeah, we already got that down. We're gonna make Survivor, like, the victims interesting to play. They're gonna have, like, I think they have, like, different abilities or something too, but that's besides the point. They understand, like, that, like, they need to make it interesting. They're like, hey, you can have phone calls, you could turn on the power on this thing, you could look for this thing, save the civilians, do this other thing, try to fix the car, try to call the cops, try to do this, try to grab some weapons, you know, like, they have different things you can do. So it can make it interesting. It's not that hard, but for some reason, the DVD addicts are used to just love filling bar instead of actually thinking about gameplay. Like, if you want to sit there and do little menial tasks and shit like that, why not play a farming game, like one of those cozy games or something? Like, Stardew Valley is one of my favorite games of all freaking time, and a lot of it is not very complex. You know, like, some aspects are complex, like with certain things, like trying to grow like a gigantic crop. Like, you can basically take a patch of crops and make one gigantic one. That one's a little complex. Or a quest that's a little complex, or whatever the case may be. But like, those things are like all filled with little tasks. Like, oh, I gotta water the plants today. Oh, I gotta do this thing. Oh, I gotta make sure I go to the cave and mine this thing, or I gotta go down to this floor. Like, there's other games that do the similar thing, where like, or you could even do Power Wash Simulator if you want to sit there and do a repetitive task all day. Like, there's other games that do the same shit better. You don't have to be on DVD slop all day long. You don't. Because all they do is bitch that they can't do the same dumbass task all day. Why? Like, that doesn't make sense. you could play a game that gives you stupid tasks to do without interruption. Like, that's what you want. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. But I want to hear what you guys think in the comment section on the topic at hand today, of course. Check out the main channel for video essays, other topics like that. More videos coming for that channel. It does take a bit of time to make them, unfortunately, but once they start coming up, man, you're gonna like them. And we got rivals content. Go ahead and check that channel out as well, and I will see you guys in the next one. And consider becoming a member on Patreon, or even subbing on Twitch as well. All right, we're gonna shout out all the members. So shout out Patreon Crow Vader. So shout out to Raz Makai, Cozy with Brando, Evil Blade 17 as well. Also Kargan Falcon, Dole Whip, Noxus, Zero Mocker, Christian, and Crow Vader. Appreciate you guys, man. If you want your name read off at the end of every video, you can go ahead and become a member. With one of the tiers is the bonus you get. So appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.